Meanwhile, Lori Lightfoot, who's an awful, awful mayor of Chicago and who has basically been allowing shootings to take place in her city willy-nilly, she said yesterday the real reason that Trump is doing this is because he's targeting women, which is a hell of a take. He's sending federal troops. They're not really troops. He's sending federal law enforcement to Portland, which is run by a white man. Okay, he's talking about sending federal law enforcement to places like Kansas City. I'm not aware that the mayor of Kansas City is a woman. Maybe it is, but I'm pretty sure that is not the reason why the president of the United States is sending somebody. The mayor of Kansas City is a man named Quinton Lucas, a black man. Okay, so she says this is really about Trump targeting women. So apparently the fact that she's a garbage mayor and her city is turning into a hellhole, Trump is only sending the feds because he doesn't like women or some such nonsense. This is so tiresome. It's so tiresome. What do you think people in Chicago who are getting shot at every weekend have to say about their idiot mayor who thinks the reason the feds are coming in is because Trump is mean to ladies?
The president has been on a campaign now for some time against Democratic mayors across the country, whether it's me, whether it's Keisha Lance Bottoms in Atlanta, whether it's Muriel Bowser in Washington, D.C., whether it's Jenny Durkin in Seattle. Do you see a common theme here? The president is trying to divert attention from his failed leadership on COVID-19.
Okay, really? That's what's going on here? And again, I love that she specifically picks out only the cities where there's female leadership. She ignores the fact that Trump hates Bill de Blasio. She ignores the fact that Trump really doesn't like Ted Wheeler. Like there are a lot of people Trump doesn't like who ain't the ladies. But this is what a cheap trick. Meanwhile, Jay Johnson, the former Homeland Security Secretary, is provocative. It's provocative to send federal agents into cities to, protect federal property. Provocative. Yeah, we should do exactly what Jay Johnson did when he was the Department of Homeland Security head. We should let Ferguson burn to the ground. Good idea, Jay.
A surge like this would probably be unnecessarily provocative and actually make matters worse. The militaristic presence on the streets of the United States in our cities during moments of high tension can actually make matters worse and be provocative. There is legislation working its way through to limit the sale of Defense Department equipment to civilian law enforcement in our cities because it is provocative. You see those images of people who used to work for me in camouflage who look like the military, and it's provocative.
He keeps saying provocative. The people who are apparently being provoked were trying to burn down the courthouse 5 seconds ago. I feel like they were already provoked. It's like the dumbass argument that you constantly hear from folks on the international left, where, like the Israelis responding to Hamas bombing pizzerias. It's provocative. How dare they respond? I'm pretty sure these folks were already provoked. They're in the streets trying to burn down the damn courthouse. Michael Chertoff, who's the head of Homeland Security under President Bush, he said, well, maybe they're exceeding their authority. He said, it's possible they're exceeding their authority. Well, I mean, maybe is not the same as they are. Right? Why don't you explain how they're exceeding their authority?
You can protect federal property, but that doesn't mean it's an unlimited license to roam around the streets and pick up people based on some suspicion that maybe they're involved or going to be involved in something. Roving around on the street and stopping people and taking them down strike me as going beyond that authority. And that's wholly apart from the Fourth Amendment issue. Because whatever the statutory authority is, we still have a constitution.
Okay, yes, and the Fourth Amendment has not been violated here. You are allowed to arrest people for committing felonies in public places without a warrant. That is a Supreme Court established doctrine. That is a fact. And by the way, here is what the law says, word for word, 40 U.S. Code, Section 1315. Law enforcement authority of Secretary of Homeland Security for protection of public property. The Secretary may designate employees of the Department of Homeland Security, including employees transferred to the Department of the Office of the Federal Protective Services of the General Services Administration, pursuant to the Homeland Security Act of 2002, as officers and agents for duty in connection with the protection of property owned or occupied by the federal government and persons on the property, including duty in areas outside the property to the extent necessary to protect the property and persons on the property. While engaged in the performance of official duties, an officer or agent designated under this subsection may enforce federal laws and regulations for the protection of persons and property, carry firearms, make arrests without a warrant for any offense against the United States committed in the presence of an officer or agent, or for any felony cognizable under the laws of the United States if the officer or agent has reasonable grounds to believe that the person to be arrested has committed or is committing a felony. Okay, I'm reading you the black letter law. That is the actual law. So don't give me that the agents in Portland are violating the law. I just read you the law. The law says they are doing exactly what they are supposed to be doing. So this ain't about tyranny. It's not about fascism. It's about don't believe your own eyes. Don't believe that the cities are burning and that President Trump is doing something about it, because that might be a narrative in favor of President Trump. Facts don't care about your feelings, and it's a fact that The Ben Shapiro Show is the largest conservative podcast in the nation. Be sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on all of our content.